Hey, what's up, everybody? I just wanted to show you my Halloween costume and say happy Halloween. I've got a great Rob Reacts for you. I hope you can guess what my Halloween costume is, and I'm gonna sync this video. Let's do it. All right, everybody, how you doing today? Sorry if my necklace is shining. It was the only thing that I could find that would go with my costume. I have a great Rob Reacts for you. I've got 3 videos that I would like to react to. Of course, I am Rob Howe, Rockstar Realtor. That makes me the Realtor. And because you're watching this and enjoying this today, you are the rock star. Anybody who watches my videos, anybody who is my clients, certainly, and even my friends, I think you're all rock stars, and that's why I'm the Rockstar Realtor. So today, I'm gonna go over this video. This is another Breaking Points one, but it's to 2 different hosts that they have here than the last time I did one of these, and they're specifically talking about the housing market. The title of it is American Middle Class Housing Dream is Dead. And they talk about this, and I just wanted to have a quick reaction to this. I just did a video, my last video was about the local elections, and I didn't really get into how politics can change our housing market, but they can, and this is a great discussion of that. All right, so American middle class housing dream is dead. Let's listen.
Have their own home, like that was kind of the American bargain. Like that was the American dream.
To own your home.
That was sold to people. Like, okay, we got a lot of problems here. There's a lot of upward social mobility, a lot of downward social mobility. But we do have a contract here that if you work hard, you can own your own home, and your children have a chance of doing better than you did. Like that's the basic bargain. Now that we're pulling that bargain out, we're saying actually, not so much. And the Fed, by turning this around, could create a kind of structural fundamental shift in construction that just says, the single family. So they go on to talk more about construction in quite a nice little conversation, but I just wanted to point out that his thought was that because of what the Fed's doing, it is actually pulling the rug out from a lot of first-time home buyers, the American dream, people who want to be able to not have to rent, and they want to be able to purchase and build their wealth on the back of housing, which how a lot of people do it. It's how I've done it in my life. You buy a property and you own that property and you're paying it down, and then maybe you keep owning that property and buy another property, and now you rent out your other property, and maybe the market cooperates with you and you can sell that other property at the right time and make some profit, and then be ready for another opportunity. Maybe split those profits into 2 new properties that you're buying. But obviously doing this patiently, wisely, which is a lot of what I want to talk about in this video today. There is always opportunity in the market, but I do think that right now that statement that's being made is correct. It is harder to find affordable housing. The prices may come down, but if interest rates are way up, it creates a problem. That being said, there are those who can take advantage, and I think you should be on the lookout for your opportunity, especially in the months to come. Let's move on to another video. All right, so we're gonna check out a Zillow senior economist on the decline of housing prices. Very short video, but I thought I had a number of points that I wanted to hit.
Home prices and home values have still been declining on a monthly level nationally and in most large markets. That's going to continue likely for the rest of this year as affordability challenges. At
least the rest of this year, because as long as the interest rates keep getting jacked up, it is going to slow people down. And you also have the traditional time where people are not as going to be looking to purchase and move and things like that. You've got a lot of holiday seasons in between. I think this carries on through the beginning of the year, a little bit of this downward pull. The question is, how long into next year? And I've got some things that have been addressed in both this video and others. So let's keep going here.
Affordability challenges really reign on buyers' budgets and sellers' decisions on whether or not to list their homes. We're going to continue to see affordability constraints.
This is a big one for people. Whether or not to list your home. If you're listening to certain people, I think you may have concern about depending on how long you want to wait. If you think you need to sell your home or your plans are to sell that home, you need to do it sooner than later, because I don't believe that the road is going to be smoother for you as a seller as it goes on. You need to do this as soon as possible, and you need to get smart with your pricing and give a buyer a deal, because you could be looking at, if you wait longer, a much even deeper discount as prices decline. I don't think we're sinking, but if we go back to, like I've said in many videos, if we gave back the last 2 years of gain, that would be massive, but it's possible. And so you would still be left where, depending on where you bought, that you would have equity in your home. But why would you want to give back that gain if that's your plan to sell sooner than later? Unless you're thinking more long term. And that's why, if you're a buyer right now, you should be buying and not looking to sell for at least 3 to 5 years. That's my recommendation. I think it's plenty safe to buy if you can afford it, and especially if you can make these deals happen for you to where your mortgage is great. If you got cash, even more awesome. But you're looking at a 3 to 5 year hold, in my opinion. That's where the safe zone is. It could happen sooner, but that's the safe zone. And anybody telling you different, well, I'd kind of look at them a little more cockeyed. Like, what are you talking about, bud?
Where inventory is at right now, we're not anywhere near where we were before the pandemic. And I don't think we're going to get back to that point anytime soon. We're still seeing new construction at a higher level than it was pre-pandemic, but it's pulled back quite a bit from the 2021 highs when the construction market was really
okay. So inventory has been climbing, but it hasn't been shooting through the roof. That's because a lot of people are saying, you know what, I'll just take a break. I think a lot of people hope that it's more on the short side of things, that we're looking at 6 months. And maybe not a year or two. I think we're probably looking at, from this point, it is late October 2022. We could be looking at it easily 6 months right now before we start seeing things get a little bit better. Although, if the right things happen for the Fed and their mood changed quickly, we could be looking at spring looking like a good time again. I would say that's a fingers crossed thing. A lot of people are waiting on that. If that doesn't happen, that's when you might start seeing some serious inventory buildup.
The market was really booming. Now that affordability has started to hit both buyers and sellers, we're seeing a lot of existing homeowners locked into their current interest rates. That's going to lead to lower new homes coming onto the market from those existing inventory stock.
Absolutely. People are locked into their interest rate. If you had a 2.9 interest rate or a 3.2 or whatever, a really good rate, why would you want to leave that rate and go and get a 7% rate? Unless you're leaving state to state for a great job opportunity, things like that. And even in that case, a lot of people are choosing to rent. Rent is not necessarily getting better. I know there's been a lot of talk. I've seen it a lot out there that rent is getting better, and there's a lot of rentals available. There are more rentals available, no doubt about it. But I just think that it's not getting worse. I don't know about it getting better just yet. Anecdotally speaking, I've got a lot of people who've been asking me about rentals. Unfortunately, I only help so many people, very close people to me, with them, because it is just still a very tough market to deal with. Anyway, let's move on to the next video. Real Estate Mindset is his handle, and he's an agent, he's a lender, he does it all. But I actually am impressed with his delivery and his setup and the way he goes through some of his data. It's not bad at all, but I do think that it gets a little annoying when I see people that are overdoing their headlines and their little thumbnails to make, obviously people watch it. He has this minus 71% thing on the thumbnail, and it's not even related. It's related to something smaller that's like sort of innocuous. And this is what he says: something devastating in big bold letters. is about to hit the housing market. All right, so he kind of talks about a few things. But if you're talking about what he's talking about, this something devastating has already been happening. It's if you watch my videos, you know interest rates and what's going on. And because we had high prices, we are now meeting high interest rates with high prices, and that's causing prices to cave. So that's a simple way of saying a number of things that he says. But I do like that he goes into some of the declines in certain areas, and you know, let's just check it out.
That's not the only bad things that are happening. We also have several metro areas that are experiencing 15% or more price decline from peak, starting with Austin. Now, as you guys can see here, this is median sales price, not median asking price. This is for Austin. Austin peaked at 574K. It is now down to 478K.
Okay, so Austin is a great example because Austin is generally going to continue to be thought of as a great place to live. But because of the interest rates and because of the spike in prices, it went all the way up to $574,000 median sales price in Austin. That is really high. In Vegas, we went to $485,000, which obviously everybody thought that was high here if you've been here for long. And now he's saying that it dropped down nearly 100K to 478. But that's what happens. And it's a great thing to point out that it's still in a wonderful area like Austin. It's, you know, it's happening. Now, many of these people that bought at those high prices, they put a lot of cash in. So the equity is burning through their cash, basically, or the drop is burning through their cash, but they also got a very good interest rate. So ideally, many of these people are very comfortable. They bought for the long term. They weren't just going there and thinking, I'm going to hang out for a year and sell and make money. That's ridiculous. Unless you see the obvious signs of something happening, you shouldn't be thinking that way. That's, you know, or unless you buy it for a smoking deal and you know for sure you can resell that puppy pretty quickly. So let's just move on a little bit.
And then we have lovely San Jose, which peaked at 1.625 million. It is now down to 1.355 million.
So San Jose peaked at 1.625 million, absolutely bonkers. And it's now going down to 1.355. It's going to go down further over there, folks. That is an absolutely inflated market. I think some of these really, really bogusly inflated markets are going to get hit further.
Take a look at Albany. I need to do more research on Albany because Albany is going absolutely crazy. This is median sales price. It peaked at about 220K. It is now down to 104K, which represents, hold on to something, guys. It represents a decline in median sales price average, okay? 52.7%. So
yikes. Yikes. Okay, so what he's going to go to, what all this means is what he's going to go to. So if you want to check out that video, I'll have it down in the description here. What it means to me is that the markets are getting back to normal. In other words, the areas and the states and the cities and the towns, they were all going crazy across the board in the last couple of years, everything going up. Well, now you're going to have more localized, and how it's always been traditionally, this area of the country, this city, this town, this state, all have differing markets taking place, a little bit different. Now, generally speaking, it's all going to be on the pull down, but some are going to get pulled down deeper than others because they got more artificially brought up, okay? Albany clearly was a place where people were fighting to get in because it's super affordable over there, and people wanted to find these places. And with the internet and the way jobs are working and people can work from home, they could live almost anywhere just about as long as they had internet. And that's a sign right there to tell you that Albany is now declining as it should to a level that makes more sense for that area. Same thing I would say with San Jose. San Jose's always been a little bit expensive. Anywhere in California, always been pretty pricey, but they obviously went through the roof and now are going to come back down to earth. I think a lot of areas in California could really be seeing some deep, pull downs in those areas, really, really deep, I think, because when you're talking about 7, maybe 8% interest rates, the more money that you're borrowing, the more that can really mean that you have inflated mortgage costs. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. There's a lot more where that came from, and check me out. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to give you 2 seconds. 1, 2. Did you subscribe? I hope so. There's a whole bunch more. I always like talking about what's happening, what I'm seeing, what other people are seeing and happening. So if you enjoy that, you need to keep following me. Check out my prognostications for what's coming next. And, I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy Halloween if you're watching this actually on Halloween, because that's when it's coming out. All right, folks. See you on the next one.